And hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I'm really excited about my guest today. We do a show together about every 2 weeks, and it's Pink Bell Aloha, and we're going to be getting into really fun stuff today. We're going to be talking about Palm. Well, it's, I don't know, fun. I mean, that is about Palm Beach Pete, because he is like, he could be Epstein, and if that's the truth, then that's scary, because we don't want that guy running around. But anyway, we're going to be getting into off-world time travel, Atlantis, and the AI matrix control, and a little bit more about my guest. Pink Bella is a returning fan favorite on the show, known for her deep insights into the Galactic Akashic records, off-world experiences, and multidimensional consciousness. Through her work, she shares perspectives on Starseed Origins, Atlantis. She does 1222 chakra healing, guardians, dragons, divine feminine Magdalene codes. She offers divine intuitive guidance on humanity's current evolutionary path. Her teachings explore the nature of reality as a matrix-like system, offering interpretations of how cosmic intelligence, advanced civilizations, and energetic grids may influence the human experience. And her website is alohapinkbella.weebly.com. And I'm bringing her to the stage now. With all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Pink Bella, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Oh, wait, it muted for some reason. Are you muted, or is that my speaker? Oh, no, it's not my speaker. Oh, you're good.
I'm on.
Good to see you.
You too. I'm super excited to be here. Thanks for having me on today, Rob. Really excited about our topics. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Because there was a little bit of a lag. So if there's a lag, if you can't hear me, we'll just ask each other to repeat stuff for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. How are you doing?
Oh, I mean, with all this war stuff, it's kind of crazy. I haven't really took my eyes off it since it started. It's been like, it's kind of like weird, because I see it like siphoning my energy. Like, I feel like it's a massive energy siphon, besides the fact that people in Israel and Iran are getting like really hurt, and even Lebanon now too, because Israel invaded Lebanon. So it's like, I'm just trying not to have a fight in the dog. I support our troops. I support the United States military, but I just don't like the idea of the war. I mean, a lot of people think it needed to happen, but it's definitely been a drain on my energy. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to be neutral and let different people bring different perspectives to the table,
Yeah, you should take some breaks.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Because take some breaks from it, because I was like that through 9/11. I got obsessed with 9/11, and then it was really draining my energy. So take some breaks from it. The other thing is that when I looked at it yesterday, that's why I want to look at the Stargate. It's multidimensional. There's many things going on in the background. We can't really believe what we're being told in the media. They're using all of the media, including truthers as well. When I looked at it yesterday, that's why I want to look at the Stargate, because one of the things I looked at last week was that the big operation behind the scenes was to shut the Stargates down in that area, because the dark ETs were using it, or were planning on bringing in a lot more dark ET fleets through that Stargate system. That Stargate system seems to be one, if not the one, it seems to be one of the top ones. Like, I think Greenland is another one where they were using it, they were controlling it to transport ships in and out. So that's why I wanted to look at it today. Because when I looked at it on a
multidimensional level.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we don't. That's what they can't share with us. They can't share that they're shutting down Stargates, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. But do you think it's a big multidimensional war, like on a spiritual level, like that that the ETs are fighting behind the scenes as the militaries are fighting on the 3D level?
Yes. And I looked at it. I started a series 2 weeks ago, Galactic News. I'm doing Galactic News every week. And when I looked at it last week, there's Stargates all over the place that they don't even talk about. And there's a major one around New York, and there's also one in California. I didn't narrow down where it was, but it's all connected, and they're bringing ships in and out through a lot of the Stargates. The other intel that came to me by doing a property and home clearing, in Nova Scotia, the big thing that came through is this individual, she's very intuitive and she picks up like these vibrations and these sounds. And we've been working on it together, but the intel just came in at the end of January and it's been getting louder and louder, literally. There's dark ET ships over the Atlantic. And they're pinging the East Coast to make everybody on the East Coast scramble everybody's signal, especially starseeds and light workers. So if you guys are all like hearing like really strong vibrational sounds that don't sound like planes, and it's usually at night, that's when we can really pick it up. So then I looked into, I wonder if they're over the Pacific as well. Yes, and they're kind of hovering near California right now. So the battle's not over.
Wow.
I looked at yesterday was there's tons of meteors everywhere. Like there's sightings of meteors, not just in North America, but all around the world. And those meteors are actually connected to fallout from the galactic battle that's on right now. So yeah, it's full. It's like we've been talking about it for years and they've been trying to contain it as much as possible. But now what's happening is like we're right in it. It's almost as if the dark fleets are like, no, this is like the last battle, the last stand. They don't want to give up their control over us. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So remain calm, everybody.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And they're trying to do what they can.
So where did you want to? Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry. I think we have a delay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wherever you want to start, we can look at it, whatever you want to start at today. That's cool. The records are open.
How about the most interesting thing is I think well, that's all interesting. All the topics are interesting, to be honest. But like one of the ones that I thought that really caught my eye was Palm Beach Pete. You know, this guy's like, I mean, like if you follow this guy, he's like, I don't know. Is he Epstein? I don't know.
You know what's really crazy is he apparently was always living where Epstein was living. Because I did some research. So when Epstein was in New York, apparently this guy was in New York. When Epstein moved to Palm Beach, this guy was in Palm Beach. So who is he? He apparently also was at some Epstein parties. And so I wanted to look to see, like, is it him? Is it a cloned version of him? Because in the Epstein files, the clone technology was talked about multiple times. So that was also part of like what was going on, the directive. And he did talk about he wanted to be duplicated. So I want to look to see, is this person a duplicate of him? Is it, what has this being always been around as one of his clones? Right?
Yeah, he doesn't sound like Epstein, but like what makes it interesting is the fact that they can do like cloning and soul swapping and stuff like that. So like, it's like with Jim Carrey. Here's the only argument I'll make for it is that like with Jim Carrey, we see a completely different person embodying that, whatever that being is that is Jim Carrey. So I believe the same thing could absolutely happen with Epstein. Like something else could be inhabiting a consciousness of the consciousness of Epstein could be inhabiting something looking similar to him. And I can't say for sure it is, but it's definitely interesting for sure. It's absolutely
like is it a clone? Is it a clone of him because he was so fascinated in that? It like was like did he? If we think about if we go back in history about people using doubles, many of your presidents have been using doubles for years. Ronald Reagan was using doubles. So we keep thinking that this technology is new, but it's not new. They've been experimenting with this probably since World War II at least. So, or is it somebody wearing a mask? Like even I think when I looked at Jim Carrey, like his Starseed Origins, and what I'm doing with the Starseed Origins too is I'm just asking that individual's higher self in case they are either here or they're not here. Right, I'll let them bring in the message. So Jim, I've been reposting stuff on Instagram, like all old interviews with Jim Carrey from the original time when he was very much into consciousness and he was sharing a lot. And he was talking about having doubles. So he very much could have been on board with the double thing, and then it could have just escalated into something else. But when I looked at this individual that was in France, I got that it was somebody wearing a mask. And the silicone masks look authentic.
Wow.
You can't tell. You can't tell. You could everyone go and do research about people putting on a silicone mask. You are going to be blown away. It doesn't look fake anymore. It's not like the robot. It's not like the humanoid
what is it?
robot.
What are they doing?
It's silicone, and they just put it on,
like
and it just form fits to the face. And it looks identical. You can't really tell anymore. That's how good it is. So you can all go do research. Like there's a lot of different clips about people trying on masks, and you can't tell at all. So yeah, they've been practicing, preparing for this for a long time. Yeah. So what do you want to look at? Do you want just a general message about Epstein and Palm Beach Pete, or do you want to look to see he's a clone, or where you want to start?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, why don't we ask if
whatever you think? I mean, that sounds good to me.
Let's just ask in general: is Palm Beach Pete actually Epstein? Let's start there. Yes. Yes, it's him. Got the sun. Like that's one of the most powerful cards.
So he's just in a different form.
Yeah. So now let's drill down and ask if it's if it's a clone of him, that's his DNA, right? So why don't we ask if this is actually a clone version of him? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. A bunch of cards flew out, but we'll just see what wants to come in. Yes. We also got a yes. So yeah, it is. So this is how it's going to be weird asking about this individual because it's him, because it's his DNA, but it's a cloned version of him.
Wow. What card? So what is the card? Like what card did you talk? What you drew the Ace of Pentacles? What makes you think that that's a? Why does that card say yes? Like what's
aces
the definition behind that card?
Aces are really clear yeses.
Oh, okay.
And then Ace of Pentacles are there's only a few cards that are yeses. So when we receive a major arcana like the sun, that's a big yes. When we receive an ace, that's the beginning of the cycle, so that's a yes as well. And I love that it came in as Ace of Pentacles because basically they all saw money signs around this early. They saw the benefit of, let's just talk about Hollywood. They saw the benefit of having duplicates of people. So if the individual got out of hand, they could still make lots of money.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. One thing I was going to say was this is Jason wants us to pull a card on the missing general Neil McCaslin. I don't know if you've been following this story, but like UFO researchers have been going missing. Like the general Neil McCaslin went missing. Then his friend Monica. Well, what was interesting is they had ties to space. I find that weird. Like so, it's
also Area 51.
Reverse engineered craft or the secret space programs.
Yeah, also Area 51. And he popped in last night too. I did a little research and apparently, he disappeared, she disappeared, someone else was taken out in California. And what was the weird thing about this? He didn't retire because he wanted to retire. He retired because he was going through like a lot of mental fatigue from all the work. But he wasn't fully retired. That's what came in last night. He wasn't fully retired. He just wasn't like working with them every single day. But he still had a lot of I'm getting God bumps. I want to see what's going on with him, but I'm feeling like he got some kind of code word to bug out and go somewhere.
Yeah.
But let's ask. What's his name again?
Great question. That's interesting. So he General Neil McCaslin.
Yeah. Because the same thing happened. I saw her. She was on a hike with people, and then they were a little bit ahead of her. And then when they turned around, she was just gone. She was just gone. Yeah, and they've never found her.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT about info on the missing UFO researchers because I think more people went missing.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I felt like I'm glad you brought that up, Jason, because that was originally one of the topics I wanted to look at. Three of Cups. Okay. So apparently there was some, like they had kind of a backup plan. There was something that was going to go down that was going to, like, because he's still married. So there was something that was going to go down um, that was going to harm, like maybe him at the house or his family. So that message came in because that's in the past. Eight of Pentacles, wherever I'm going to pull some more cards, like wherever he is, they're all kind of working on something together. And Three of Cups, which is a very like positive energy. We're going to have more information about all of this. And even that happening and it being in the media and the news has been important because a lot of information has come out about him, about her, about other people that have gone missing, about the fact that he was involved with Area 51 and a lot of other like very high end UFO and ET projects. Okay. So let me just ask in general, is he okay wherever he is? We have the Six of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, he's okay. Six of Cups is usually about like nostalgia. It's usually about something in the past. Yeah, Nine of Wands. So he got kind of the message to bug out. Like there probably was like a code word or something that came into him, and they just always had this plan. Like if this happens, do this. So apparently he just gave the story that he went for a hike, but he did take his bag, and they said he left his phone at home, but I'm getting the message he had other contact. He has other ways of being contacted. He was basically guided to go undercover. So we got Queen of Pentacles. So it looks like he's okay. It looks like he's okay. And we'll have more information about him. Yeah, there's like, because we all know there's a lot of things going down. So if he was involved, not just in ET information, but also maybe what's going on in Iran and Iraq as well, right? So he was given the information like it's time to bug out. So when that story came out, nothing will happen now to his family because the story is we don't know where he is. He's missing. Okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to answer a question from Tiffany. Tiffany said about the Epstein thing. She said, "Why would they clone that monster?" Well, I don't think it's like anybody benevolent would clone him. I think what we're dealing with here is like we're dealing with people who have unlimited resources and unlimited, access to advanced technology, and they can do what they want. We already know that Epstein himself was making like these weird, bizarre humanoid clones. We talked about this on my show with Matthew Morning the other day. And now, so it's like, would Epstein, the question you have to ask yourself is, would Epstein clone himself if he knew that he was going to, or would he assume another identity? I think he absolutely would, because, I don't think anybody like that just wants to disappear off the face of the earth. You know what I mean? I don't think for 1 second that he offed himself. I just don't. Like, I don't, he had so much stuff on so many people, and I don't think he ever thought anybody was going to come for him until they did.
Yeah. If you go back and it's okay. So if you go back into the files, there were lots of emails back and forth about 3-letter agencies, and he was very excited about this technology. So he wasn't just involved in the trafficking piece, everyone. He was involved in everything. It's like he was like, and he's not the only one, but he seemed to be like a key. Probably he was very cocky. Like he was probably very like in his ego and very flashy and wanted to be seen and known. Like there's a lot of others out there, I believe, that are not so obvious yet. But no, if you go into like 2017, 18, there's all this talk about different things that he was involved in. And he was involved in that, as well as there were emails about famous people that were also being sort of, eyed to be copied.
Yeah,
so think about, no, it wasn't, so we can't, the people that are looking after the cloning, not good. they're not the high vibrational people that we love. And the whole idea was he probably was super excited about being copied to have a double. So they could try it out, and then he could send his double off to wherever and do wherever, right? There's all this information coming out about even celebrities that will have their doubles at events with them in the audience. So it's been in our faces for a long time, but we didn't know about it, right? So even when we look at Atlantis today, there was a lot of tech that we're dealing with now in Atlantis, but we wouldn't have had the channeling in about it until recently, because we just are becoming aware of all the technology. Like, it's just been introduced and, like, you know, in our reality really big time since the internet came online in 94, 95, but we didn't know about it. So how could we channel in the final year or so in Atlantis with all the tech being there if we didn't know what the tech was? Right? So there were dark ET ships in Atlantis. There were AI robots. There was, you know, there were drones, military style drones that were armed. That came through another beautiful soul that emailed me about it. She had a dream about it recently. And I said, of course, that's the way it was. That's why so many are traumatized about what's happening with AI right now, because we actually remember the sound. We're starting to remember the sounds and the experiences that I'm getting my gut bumps. The last year or so of Atlantis was bad. It was bad. Yeah. So we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an interesting comment from James Wood, because he says the body they did an autopsy on said it had an appendix, but there were records that shows Epstein had his appendix removed. Yeah. So that shows you right there that they could have used a body double in the autopsy, or maybe a clone body in the autopsy or something like that. You know?
Yeah, I think
who knows what these monsters have access to, you know?
So I had heard when Jelaine
did.
No, it's okay. I had heard when Jelaine did her recent testimony with Congress or whoever she was in front of, some of it got leaked out, and I'd heard that she said that that wasn't him, and that there was always a plan to, like, put a fake person in there, and he was removed. He was removed because at that point, think about it, 2019, think about all the people that were in office, or all the people that were, that there wouldn't have been, like, there's kind of this controlled narrative for releasing everything. But do you think the public honestly would have been ready in 2019 for everything that we're talking about now? No way. No way. Clones, no. Right? Metal hats, conspiracy theories, right? Yeah. So we have to think back about how long ago that was, and, like, now we can kind of digest it. They did the swap-a-roo. And they're also saying that whoever the individual is that's her in locked up isn't her either. Wow. The movie just gets crazier.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is yeah, absolutely. I believe it too, you know. And this is from Eric. He says, Bella, are most of the baddies really unalive, or just hiding underground, or another planet, do you think?
Good question. Let's ask, because that's what I would like to know. You know, I keep hearing different stories that they've already been taken off planet, that a bunch of them are
off planet, like they could be other. Yeah.
No, let's just ask if a lot of the baddies, like the reptilians, the Dracos, and all the cloning beings, or the ones that they say have been taken to Gitmo, are they still here, and are they underground? 7 of Swords. Knight of Wands. Judgment. Then this card is like a big shock. Okay, so some of them are still here, but some of them have been processed or taken care of. Knight of Wands. I want to do a clarification on that, because that's in the present. So Knight of Wands. Ooh, we got the Moon. So some of them have been processed, i.e. either taken off planet to, like, the Moon or another facility, and or they're gone. But some are still here. That's going to be like another piece of intel that's going to be coming in the future. This is like a shock announcement for all of us, including, like, all of us that are awake. So there might be some individuals that we think are gone that are not, like Epstein, and they're right. And then there's going to be others that we think maybe are still here that are gone. Yeah. So that's super interesting. Wow.
That really is. That's really interesting. Yeah. Like,
yeah. The questions are good today.
We're getting really good comment. I know. Here's another good question. This is from Eternus Transmorphagus. He says, here's a question. When will the supernatural beings incarnated as humans gain their supernatural aspects and abilities in the physical? I don't know.
Yeah.
I like your
okay. Yeah, I like that question. Thank you. And I think So I'm gonna say the beings that I think that are labeled star season light workers. Like I think there's been different levels. Like a bunch of us were here. I consider myself a sleeper. Like maybe that's us being asleep is like a sleeper cell, and we're all being brought online. And I was given that more of our abilities are coming online now. Like we're all needed now. My new code phrase is training wheels are off. We've done so much shadow work. We've done so much healing, and our abilities are now being come online because they're required. That also means like my mission, Rob's mission, all of you all have a mission, whatever that is. We have about 6 weeks right now. All planets are direct. So we have 6 weeks to kind of gain momentum and work towards whatever we feel will help the planet. The other thing is, yeah, like I think there's a couple ways to look at it. I think we always kind of look at the organic way of like children being born, and they're like another way, which they are. But I also agree. I feel like there's already beings here. There are already beings that are time traveling and being activated to be here with that. So we all have supernatural abilities, and they're slowly coming online. And Rob and I have talked about this before. Not really good to have a lightsaber if somebody in traffic pisses you off. So we've been working on handling our human emotions because we can get triggered quite easily. So we had to slowly get our abilities to come online. But let's just ask in general what we need to know about our supernatural abilities. I love that. Got the Hermit card. You okay?
Yeah.
The Magician.
I still have a cough a little bit.
Okay. And we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. So yeah, so it's a couple of different things. So yeah, there are many of us that are star season light workers. Some of you contacted me recently. You just come online like in the last 6 months, and you feel like you're trying to catch up. Don't worry. You're going to go through like an kind of an intense start out of the soul to get up to the speed so that you can master your abilities. But we are the new technology, so that's slowly coming online. A lot of us, it's been very slow. For me, I can see it's been going on my whole life, but I really can see it started to activate in 2011. Okay. The Magician card came in. So this is us being powerful manifestors, and which is supernatural abilities, which has been hidden from us forever. That's why there's been so much, maybe energy interference, whatever you want to call it, because we have these powerful abilities and they've been trying to hide it from us for thousands of years. So you, me, all of us, you also have supernatural abilities, and you can start to claim them, but we have to use it for good. We have to use it for good of humanity. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Cups, but that's kind of in the near future. So I want to do a clarity card about that. 6 of Cups as well. Oh, I love this. Just what I shared. So this is an opportunity right now for you really to hone in. Meditation, aligning with your higher self. Everyone came in with like a super powerful ability. So mine is clairaudience, but all the other clairs are coming online. So you all have one. Some of you just know. Some of you are being guided to start working with your intuition. And guess what? You've known since you were little. 6 of Cups. You've known since you were a child that you all had super powerful abilities. We just got derailed. The other message that keeps coming in is that even those of us that woke up, like let's say 90s, 2000s, we kept putting back to sleep. And even from 2011, I can see a lot of starseeds and light workers. It's kind of like we went off on a side mission because we weren't ready for our abilities, and humanity wasn't ready for our abilities. So that's why they kept saying to me, okay, now that we've gone through this huge year of the snake shedding, which by the way, we just completed on the weekend, everyone. We just completed eclipse season. Equinox was on Friday. That was a big, powerful shift into bringing in more light for all of us, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, and Mercury's direct. So we got shown so much information through Mercury retrograde. It was crazy. And a lot of it was personal this time. A lot of it was, if this happens, how do you react? And then look to see the pattern. So now we've shed a lot. We're still sort of like tidying things up, but we're all here to raise the vibration of this planet. And we also now know there's a battle going on. The battle has been going on for thousands of years, and we're kind of getting into the heat of it. So I even look at what's going on in the Middle East as a representation of everything coming to a head for all of us. So the best way for us to move forward, start working with your intuition, listen to guided meditations, practice that, working with the coherence of the heart, because soon enough, I think I'm getting my God votes. Soon enough, we're already there yet. We're not going to be able to know what's real and what's not real, because the AI representation is so powerful right now. What I can't remember, maybe someone in the audience remembers, there was a program that just got released maybe 3-4 weeks ago from China. They already can create movie-like reels, and it looks like the real people. So they were doing ones with like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and it looked like real people. And I don't know if it got paused or there was a big lawsuit that went their way. So I think they had to pause what they were doing. So that's already here, which means we can't trust anything that we're seeing right now. We really have to go into like,
it's scary. Like if you see on X,
yes.
Yeah. If you see on X some of the stuff they're creating, like, like when they're redoing videos with Epstein and P. Diddy, and like, they look exactly like they're alive. It's weird.
Exactly. It is. It's creepy.
It's like, it's
and
scary.
So I think what I keep getting is, that's why, I love the tarot. That's why, like, some of you are going to be drawn to that, or pendulums, or you want to pick like an intuitive gift that's not connected to technology, where you can start asking questions and trusting what you see and what you believe, because we're already there. It's kind of like the timeline has been accelerated. Another message I kept getting is, even the regular collective is going to get fed up with all the tech. They're already starting to, like, they're already different groups. And I love this thing. Someone's trying to bring back Blockbuster. And I'm like, yeah, do it. Because look at how much everybody's having to spend on streaming.
That'd be great.
Services just to find a movie, right? Just to find a movie from the 90s, you have to stream it somewhere and pay somebody for that. Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, yeah, bring back some organic things like Blockbuster. We'll all be there. That means we're not reliant on the internet. We can just play movies, right? So I think that's it, is that we already have different waves of us that are seeing that this tech.
I think we talked about this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. The red box thing didn't take over. I don't know if they have those in your town, but like, they have one in my town, the red box machines, and those didn't do well. Like, people don't go to them much,
Because I think what we realized is we actually liked the whole experience of Blockbuster. We don't have red box here in Canada.
Absolutely.
I know, right? I know they started putting red boxes in like different grocery stores and stuff like that to make it easy. But I think really what we miss is the whole experience of Blockbuster. Like, just going with friends and family and picking out some movies, and they had snacks, or you could buy movies. You know what I mean? It was like, we didn't even realize how good it was until they took it away. So I think, we don't have Redbox here, but I was thinking the other day, I totally would go to a new version of Blockbuster. They could make a cafe there. They could have movie nights. Like, they could turn it into this whole really fabulous experience, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to see the same thing with malls too. Like, malls are going to, like, they're tearing down two malls. They're two malls are going away in my area. That, like, people will realize that this being inside and being online stuff is just kind of it's not good. It's not like, and here I am, I do like 3 podcasts a day. Sometimes but I still try to make sure I get outside every day. Still make sure I go for a walk, and like, I just like to stay busy, but at the same time, like, I do realize the need for us to be outside and experiencing life. It's important.
It's interesting that you said that, because I have a mall really close to me. That's one of my grid work assignments with the Dragons, and I've been noticing how it's getting quieter and quieter. So the only thing that's really keeping it going is Walmart is there, because all the major department stores are gone. So I'm going to continue to go to malls. I think if you all like to do that, that's how we keep the human experience going. That's how we're going to keep it going. We're not going to buy into that everything should be online, delivered by a robot, right? Because then what if the power goes out? They've got us, right? Power goes out, tech goes out, then we can't do anything. So if we keep choosing the human experience, like, go and buy something at Walgreens or whatever, do that, because that's actually keeping the human experience of jobs and retail open. I agree. Like, I don't think retail should disappear. I think that would be very it's fun. I still enjoy going to the mall. I still like to see things in windows and see what's going on, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, one thing you were going to talk about is Atlantis and the AI control matrix. Like that, we haven't got into that yet.
Yeah.
You know?
So I wanted, and keep watching the questions too, Rob, because everybody's on fire today. I wanted to know, so the matrix that's here, that, by the way, another message that keeps coming in, everyone, they're sending out not just frequencies, they're sending out subliminal messages through 5G, 6G, through the grids that all of our homes and properties are connected to. So we clean up, like, and this is what I've been learning the last couple of weeks. We clean up we listen to positive things and we clean up our homes, but everything's still connected to the grids, and those grids are still active. So we can't literally fully leave yet, because we can't fully leave the matrix yet, because that's what the battle's all about. But the other thing I wanted to look at was, because apparently that's what the dark ships are pinging off both coasts. They're trying to scramble our signal. So 2 messages came in, and Rob and I have been talking about this for years. Listen to positive affirmations and frequencies 24/7. Like, don't just think you can say an affirmation and listen to it for a little bit. Play it in the background. Have the sound off if you want. We need to have that. We need that reinforcement, because that reinforcement is deleting the lies that they're sending to all of us, because literally they're sending lies to us. Okay. And then the other message that came in is, I wanted to know, is this matrix that we're running on right now, is it the Atlantis matrix? And is that really where it's being controlled from? Because Atlantis can still be running. Like, it's still a reality that can be running, right? Especially if at the end it was an AI. It was an AI reality. So the Dark teams can still have it running. So that's my question. And then if anybody else has any questions, let us know. Okay, so is Atlantis still? Are they still controlling our current matrix from the reality known as Atlantis? And I haven't looked at this yet, so this will be interesting. Knight of Swords. So this is one of my Galactic battle cards. This card also wanted to come in. The Death card. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's part of the ongoing battle, part of the Stargate. We can look at that next, about them wanting to close some of the Stargates. It's part of the ongoing battle, because we do things here, we're high vibrational, but then the grid systems are still being managed from this other reality. So I'm going to pull some clarity. The Death card, like, this is connected to Scorpio energy. So we may see a shutdown of all of this by when Scorpio season, end of October, early November. And then everything, 6 of Pentacles, would be balanced. But I just want to ask, let's just ask, like, what else do we need to know? Is it like a high percentage? What else do we need to know? Queen of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. They're controlling the money system this way. That's why there's been no changes, really. Okay. So okay. So we have 4 of Wands. So potentially this could be wrapped up in 4 weeks or 4 months. So 4 months would take us, where are we in March? Can you believe we're almost at the end of March, Rob? Isn't that crazy? So April, May, June. So by July, it could be resolved, which would be great news. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that just came to me. I thought all of us have been doing, we've all been doing so much.
I mean, it would be nice if we
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Go ahead. There's a delay.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. So go ahead. Don't remember.
I can't remember either. It's just I'm sick of StreamYard, though. Honestly, like, I'm sick of this. I hate when there's a delay like this. It happens all the time. It's like it's not just that. There's like multiple problems with StreamYard. You know what I mean? Like, it's for what we pay for StreamYard. It's not the best technology. Honestly, it's absolutely not. You know,
I've seen a lot of kerfuffle. I've seen a lot of kerfuffle.
I was just looking at the comments here.
Yeah, please do. I can just even share somebody Wizard because is asking, is Atlantis the future but got shot back in time during the catastrophe? We can kind of see like that, like what's happening is there's parallel realities running. So they were already planning. So they resurrected, you know, whatever was going on in Atlantis. They were already planning to use the Stargates to go back and forth. So that's why a lot of times our Atlantis, like our reality, we feel like we're kind of getting ahead and then the timelines keep getting changed. So that's part of the battle for sure. Yeah. Thank you, Wizard Witness. Yeah. So I just wanted to know, I think that that's part of, maybe that's where we should go to next, Rob, is have they shut down the Stargate in Iran? And then we could also look at part B, are they in the process of trying to shut those Stargates down? Because a lot of the Stargates that are on the planet right now are not new. They're not organic. They're the Stargates that were created to go back and forth to Atlantis where the tech is. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at that. Is the Stargate in Iran, which is one of the main ones that they're using, is it still open?
That sounds good.
Yes, it's still open. Ace of Pentacles. So let's do a clarification. They're in the process of shutting it down. Four of Pentacles. That would be, so let's look at it as, I don't know, how does Carrie Cassidy word it, Rob? Does she talk about good military white hats? Like, what do we want to give the word for the group that's trying to help humanity, that would be working on behalf of the
I guess you could call it the white hats. Yeah.
Okay, let's call it the White Hat Alliance.
Yeah,
so
white hats.
So they're the group that's working behind the scenes, that's working on a multidimensional level. So they're in the process of shutting it down. That's the Four of Pentacles. Okay, and that's what that battle's all about. This is the big card today, Six of Pentacles, and then everything will be more balanced. This also can be connected to October again, the Libra energy, which really kind of starts end of September. So it's going to be kind of this ongoing thing until it gets shut down. And I feel that when I looked yesterday at like the planes, you know, they're already mumbling about.
When are we going to get it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead. You're talking to you, but saying there's not enough fuel.
Yeah, well, that was something that was brought to me yesterday that I looked at, that apparently they've been mumbling since the conflict started about, oh, there's not enough fuel for the planes. A lot of airlines are already canceling flights, that people might be, you know, they're expressing that people should be working from home again, and there might be some kind of lockdowns. So we can look at that as well. And that's all connected.
Yeah, yeah. Also, what I was going to say was when is this Mercury retrograde officially going to end? Because it seems to be getting worse and worse. It seems to just keep getting, you know, like people keep acting weird, and it's like,
it was an intense one. So on the weekend, and it wasn't, you reached out to me, a couple of people reached out to me, and I went through sort of it's like, okay, I did a new thing last week as well. On Friday, I did a little like, let's check into the weekend. And I actually did that because it was equinox on Friday and Mercury went direct that day. But I was like, let's look at the weekend. The Tower card came in. That's huge. Like, that's a massive transformation. So we did a big timeline jump on the weekend. And how we know we moved timelines is something very well surprising could have happened in our lives. At the time, I thought something big was happening out in the world. I wasn't sure. But now, once we got through the weekend, I realized something fell away on the weekend because we changed timelines. On a soul level, the collective went through a timeline jump, but we all individually. So it doesn't mean that that's not going to repair itself. But I'll give you an example. I knew exactly where I was going before the eclipse season, and I'm still going that direction. But the option that I was looking at got removed on the weekend. For some of you, it might have been a relationship split. Wow. For some of you, it might have been a fight, right? Or for some of you, like maybe you got like the flu, the frequency light upgrade, and got kind of removed. For some of you, it could have been all three. So I'm getting my God bump. So that's how it's represented that we were moved through a new timeline, both collectively and individually, is that will often happen. The other message is the eclipse season got wrapped up on the weekend. That was the finale of the eclipse season, which is a massive, like it's Wheel of Fortune shifting timelines. So we've been working through all of this stuff since early February, and it's like some intention we all set individually or with someone else. And you got to think about it. All the other individuals also made and set intentions. They also have a game plan, and it might not be a good time for everybody to be on the same timeline right now. We're working towards different things. The third thing that came to me as well is, look at how far we've grown since early February. It's been massive. We've all changed so much. Like if you think about maybe even what you were requesting at the beginning of February, it might now look different. You might want something a bit different because we've learned so much, we've grown so much, and that's been part of it. And I still have the same dream that I had early February, but now what kind of fell away, I understood. Like I got it. I thought, okay, that's not the right frequency right now. It's still going to be the same thing because I still have that dream, but it kind of got, and I'm going to tell you, it felt weird. I felt weird on Sunday too, because something I've been focusing on for like 44 days, they told me, suddenly got removed. And what Source told me was, I needed you to focus on something so you could get excited and high vibrational and believe in something really, really positive for your life. And that's still going to happen. But now the next option is going to be even better. So that's what's happened. So I think back to your question, I think the fog will be completely gone. Let me just think about this. I think early April. I haven't looked at the date. I don't know if somebody knows the date for sure, but I feel like it's either just before Easter or just after. So the first weekend in April is Easter weekend. Yeah.
Wow. What's the stage now? Are the planets just direct? Is that what it is?
All of them are direct.
Does that change the energy?
Yeah, all of them are direct. We have all planets direct for 6 weeks. Yeah. So we're in a really good space right now. We're in a space we haven't been in for a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
So you know, if you went through something shocking, which is that judgment card, the Trump card, literally just shake it off and reset. Even though we went through the equinox on Friday, reset your intentions. Like really think about, okay, that didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to. We're not being punished. It's like re-look at it again and start your new timeline and decide what you really want. So as an example, I realized I didn't want a couple things with that option that came forward. I just wasn't aware of it as well. So it wasn't to be punished. It was just shown that everybody on a soul level made a decision on the weekend. Yeah.
Wow. I was seeing if there was any comments. Let me see here.
What did you want to look at next, Rob?
Nothing,
what didn't we look at? Do you want to look at while you're looking for questions?
This is a good question.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I don't know, honestly.
Well, I was just thinking. While you were looking for questions, we could look at if the plane, what about the planes and the lockdowns that they're talking about? Like, are they going to ground all the planes and tell people not to travel and tell people to work from home again? So while you're looking at comments, why don't I look at that?
Yeah. Okay.
Nine of Swords.
James.
The Hanged Man. Two of Pentacles. These both came out at the same time, and Four of Cups. And let's do clarity about this. Yeah, Five of Wands. So it is connected to the galactic battle. It's like what they're saying and what's actually happening is different. So right now, even that announcement has created a lot of anxiety and stress for the collective about not being able to have the freedom and mobility to travel, because there was an agenda to keep us all away from that a long time ago, like in the last 6 years. Okay. So but everyone's coming out of that because the announcement was really made February 28th. By the way, Rob, I did my research with Grok yesterday because I've left ChatGPT. I'm no longer using ChatGPT and I'm using Claude, but I ran out of minutes on Claude. So I went back to Grok. And you know what? Grok remembers me, even though I've got a free account. hey, Pink Bella, how are you? Like, it's hilarious. So,
Wow.
so I did the research with Grok, and Grok looked, and it's still been, they're making noises about it this month. Right. So that's why it was brought to me by some individuals yesterday. But we're coming out of that because right now, let's say the white hats are being put in a really uncomfortable position right now. There has been threats made to the regular collective and flying because the galactic battle has heated up. That's why there's been so many meteors and orbs, and like there's more dark ships are here causing problems. So they're being put in an uncomfortable position, and they're trying to keep the collective safe because of course the collective has no idea that there's ETs here, that there's dark ETs here, that there's a battle going on. Okay. In the near future, too, it's going to be balanced as well. It's going to have calmed down, and we have the Four of Cups, which is usually. I want to see who this is about. Who's the Four of Cups about? Zero reset is the Fool. So they're saying once the conflict is more balanced and under control, like if there is going to be a lockdown, it won't be for long, and it's just basically to keep the collective safe. And that's the other thing I looked at yesterday was that airplane incident at LaGuardia Airport with the fire truck. Did you hear about that, Rob?
No, yeah, I did. I did hear, a little bit about it, but tell us what happened a little bit. Like what? Yeah.
Well, I want us to look at it because I looked at it yesterday. And I was just
For
getting
people that might not have heard.
Well, yeah, okay. So apparently there was a mix-up with the air traffic controller. There was an Air Canada flight. Oh my goodness! I just realized this. So I've been getting this date. I have a bunch of things to share with you all. There's a whole couple of waves of all of us manifesting and doing things. So the first wave kind of is starting to wrap up now. Let's say it was like a new job or moving to another location or starting your business, etc. Okay. So that group started in March. Some of that actually started through Mercury retrograde, which is really interesting to me. I thought I was part of the first group. I'm being told I was part of the second group. The date I just got this epiphany. The date that keeps coming to me is Earth Day, April 22nd. You're not going to believe it. The clip that they show with the plane crashing into the truck, it says 422 on it. So something's coming on Earth Day. I don't know, but that's also like another wave of us because we've got this 6-week period to get momentum. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on what you want. This is a super powerful time for everyone to move into their timeline. Okay. So basically what happened was the Air Canada flight was taking off. It was late at night, 11:45, rain, etc. It was at LaGuardia. And apparently there was some other kind of emergency, and somebody was directing a fire truck to cross the runways to get somewhere else. And there was a crash. And it was very bad, but the pilots have passed away. That's the main story. But people are already questioning whether or not it actually happened that way or if it even happened at all. They keep going back to 9/11 and looking at the footage of what's happened. So I don't know. Yesterday when I looked at it, I'm neutral because if it did happen and people were involved, obviously we're very upset about that. But if it didn't happen and it's another piece of, we have to keep everybody safe and planes grounded, right? But what I got yesterday was that, and a piece of information has come forward since then. Apparently, it sounds like the air traffic controller that was helping planes land and take off was also helping the truck at the same time. So that means that this person was doing two jobs, and that was also would have been very stressful and easily human error. Okay. So let's just look at what do we need to know about the aircraft crash at LaGuardia Airport. And that was Sunday night at 11:45. 11:45 now. Oh my gosh. Rob, Reefer 17, 11:45 / it adds up to 9/11.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's insane. With that, yeah. That does.
Wow.
That's insane. Yeah. Like
I learned so
wow.
much on this show. Wow. Okay, so Three of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Ten of Swords. Okay, I'm gonna reframe the question now that we figured this out as well. Okay, just in general. Okay. Queen of Pentacles is the overall, as well as the Hanged Man. So something was going on that created that energy. Like when I looked at it yesterday, it's like it was a sneaky energy that kind of came in, either that planned this person to be completely stressed out and for it to happen, if it happened. Okay, if it happened the way they said it happened, like, but there was a big energy interference at that time. I'm going to say this is to do with both the white hats and the individual at the tower. Is like there was a very uncomfortable scenario going on. And we have Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You know, it's interesting. So this individual, she's very grounded. So that's really referring to like a potential story that they could spin to ground all the planes. And I want to ask if it's anything else we need to know, and then I'll look at it again. The Hermit. So there were, even though I asked if there were orbs or meteors in the area, there's nothing that's been documented. There was a viral video of many ships and lights over Queens on March 8th. So the Galactics were overseeing what was happening, but to me, it looks like it was part of like the galactic battle interference with even, that's what I asked yesterday. I asked if there was interference with air traffic control and the technology. There were, I don't know about you, Rob, but Friday, when Mercury went direct and the equinox shifted, there was a lot of tech problems on Friday. There were YouTube was very glitchy that day. There was, what else happened? I had someone hack into my tablet and install a virus, and that's never happened. And that happened on Friday. So if y'all have been going through some weird glitchy stuff, yeah, we're not quite through it yet. But why don't we just ask if,
well,
how do we want to word this? Is it connected to 9/11? Is it, I don't know how we want to word this.
Is it another false flag?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, is it a psyop? Is it another false flag? And how convenient to choose New York and a New York airport, right? So we have the Star card. King of Cups. Nine of Wands. So it looks like potentially it could be a false flag and a psyop of some sort. Even if some of it did happen, it didn't happen quite the way they're telling us. And the Star card, I mean, this is the White House and the off-planet good alliance. I feel like they intercepted whatever was supposed to really happen. Yeah, they intercepted. Yeah, so the off-worlders, the alliance teams that are working on behalf of Source, they intercepted something that was going to be much bigger. And there was something bigger planned, and it got nicked. So I don't know if anybody's watching and you're in New York, if you were near the airport, if you know anybody that was in and around that would be great if we actually had some intel, like from somebody on the ground, if it, you know what I mean? Because look at how long it's taken us to sort out 9/11.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? Like even back then that they had they had the technology to manipulate the video clips. Yeah. I would say the off-worlders.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When I talk about off-worlders, I'm talking about the Good Alliance, the White Hat Alliance. Like there's a couple different levels. So I now work with a team that works with Source, that works with the Galactic Akashic Records. They're very high-end Andromedans, Arcturians. They're not interested in our politics down here, but they are interested in humanity making it. Because if we don't make it, it impacts the entire universe and galaxy. There are other alliances like the White Hat Alliance, like this, I've been kind of figuring out the hierarchy. they are working for humanity, but they often get caught up in the day-to-day political stuff. So that's why it's taking so long, because they get pulled into these bigger contracts and whatever. So no, I don't talk about the breakaway Germans. No, I'm working with like high frequency light beings that work on behalf of Source that want us all to do well. Oh, that's one thing we haven't looked at. We haven't looked at the time travel thing. Right? Like, how about we frame it this way?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're going to talk about time travel.
Well, yeah.
What's up with that?
You might have a question from the audience too. But there was an article about Donald Trump 2 weeks ago in the New York Post. And they were asking whether or not he was a time traveler. So I looked at it, and I actually did his Starseed Origins 2 weeks ago as well. And that was crazy. He's had the busiest chart I've ever seen. The busiest. And he was mainly in the Orion system. And the message from his higher self was he came in, he was prepared for what's going on right now for a long time. And it looked to me like he does go off planet for meetings. So that's why I wanted to bring to us today, like, is the White House Alliance going back and forth? Like, are they here doing stuff, and then are they transporting like to the moon or somewhere else where they're having meetings to figure stuff out? So I think even that alone, the fact that the New York Post brought forward, like, is he a time traveler? Time travel is now being put on the table. Right. Okay. So let's look at that. Let's look at if in general, the White Hat Alliance that's helping us, that's trying to shut down the Stargate in Iran, that's trying to take care of us because there's all these battles going on. Do they time travel? And because traveling to the moon would be like, or to another planet or to a ship would be time travel. It would be a multi-dimensional frequency channel travel, right? Like, it wouldn't be like you and I getting on a plane and sitting there for 8 hours. It would think transport, Star Trek. Think like dematerializing and materializing somewhere else. So that's what we want to look at. Is that what they're doing?
Like teleportation.
Teleportation. That's right. Off planet. 2 of Wands. 4 of Wands. 4 of Cups. It's like the cards don't really want to tell us. I'm not surprised. Galactic battle. Knight of Swords, galactic battle. And Knight of Wands. Okay, yeah. So this is a 3-eye Atlas card, but it's also like a White Hat Alliance card. So that's a yes. They are doing that to have meetings and to maintain like their next move, whatever that's going to be. Okay. It looks like 2 of Wands, like this individual sort of looking at the world, off world. So this is an off world card. So this would be like they do have strategy meetings, and then other beings down here get like what they're doing and stuff like that. 4 of Wands. We could potentially have confirmation about this in 4 months in real time. If we think about how fast we've already moved at the end of March, like we're talking about clones and time travel and all of that, right? What's the 4 of Cups about? 4 of Pentacles and 4 of Cups. It's like the collective's not ready for this information yet. So even that article with the New York Post, they're saying it was planted to get the conversation going. Yeah. Cool.
Wow. Well, this was a great show. This was I guess we could finish up now. Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? And Dad, thanks. This was awesome. This was fun.
It was awesome. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, it was great. Okay, my website is alohapinkbella.weebly.com. Best way to get a hold of me if you have questions is alohapinkbella@gmail.com. And I've got a little offer on for the TSP community. So if anybody wants to book a session, a reading, or a package with me right now, there's an offer on a gratitude offer. And I put it at the top of my website near the video. You just have to email me with TSP gratitude, and I will set that up for you. So yeah, I wanted to do that. So that'll be on today and tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you, Pink Bella. Thank you guys so much. And I have one more show today, guys. And then Yeah, and or maybe 2. I don't know if Rocket Stolto's later, but yeah. But thanks, Pink Bella. This was awesome,
It was
and
awesome.
I
Thanks,
will see you
Rob.
guys all later.